Steps to success. This is step number 9, be a leader. Okay. So now that we have covered the previous 8 steps, right? We've defined our why, we have our motivation, we have the fuel in our rocket. We've gone out and we've launched our business, right? We said, hey, we're doing this. We've set up our profiles in social media. We started thinking about who we're going to contact and all that. We've set our goals. We have short-term, medium-term, long-term goals. We've committed, right? We planted our flag. We know that we're going to be in this for the long haul. We're going to give it a good, 6 months to a year push where we're just focused and engaged, because we know that it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's something that's going to take time. We started doing our personal development so that we can become the million-dollar person that we know we are, and we're obtaining those skills and abilities. We are staying connected, right? We're staying plugged in. We're on the weekly calls. We're on the Zooms. We're on the trainings. We're going to the meetings. We're being part of it, right? We want to stay plugged in, make sure our battery doesn't die. We're learning how to invite. We're having posture. We're sure of ourselves. We know we have the cookie. We know we have the solution. And then, of course, we know the biz, right? We know what's involved with our business. We understand how the compensation rewards plan works. We understand who the owners of the company are and why they're amazing. We understand our product and what it is we're offering, the solution that we're offering inside and out. We know all the aspects of what makes our business go and tick and everything like that. So with all of that, now it's time to step up and be a leader, okay? So what does that mean? Well, John Maxwell is the expert. He's the utmost expert, the pinnacle expert when it comes to leadership. And he's written, I don't know how many books on how to be a leader, 21 irrefutable laws of leadership and everything. But one of my favorites is the 5 levels of leadership. So we're going to kind of run through this real quick, understand what it is to be a leader, right? And what that means and how we can advance in our leadership. So the first level of leadership is what we would call position, and that's just a right, so that people follow you because they have to. Second is permission. That's based on relationships, and people follow you because they want to, right? Production, it's results driven, right? It's people will follow you because of what you have done and the results that people can see because of you. The fourth is people development. This is where people follow you, not just because you're having success, but because they're having success also thanks to you, right? And then, of course, the 5th one is pinnacle, which is respect, right? People follow you just because who you are and what you represent. So let's dive into each of these a little bit more detail, okay? So the first one, position and rights, right? This is the basic entry-level leadership. This is kind of like, you can just give the example of a boss or a supervisor, somebody that you work for, and you have to do what they say because otherwise they can fire you, right? So you have to do it because they're the boss. It's not because they've earned it. It's not because you like them. It's because they're the boss and you have to, right? So it's okay. And some bosses can be, higher levels of leadership, right? Some bosses are people that you could like and know and trust and all that and respect and those things. And that's great. But the bottom level, just the main thing here is you're doing it just because you have to. And that's not always the best kind of leadership, right? Like it says here in the quote, a boss says, go and make sure you do it. But a leader would say, let's go and make it happen together, right? Bosses control people, but leaders involve them, okay? So the goal, of course, is to go way beyond level 1 of leadership, right? We want to be at the bare minimum at level 2. So relationship marketing gives us the opportunity to do that, to move beyond that first level and actually have some influence, okay? So step 2, or level 2 of leadership, is the permission relationship level, right? Because leaders understand the ultimate power of relationships. That's why we like to call it relationship marketing. Because when people know you and they like you and they trust you, guess what? They're going to follow your leadership because they believe that you're not going to steer them wrong, okay? At this level, you lead through relationships that you have formed out of friendship, out of respect, okay? Networking is a business that is maintained thanks to long-lasting friendships, right? So this is great. This is where most of us probably start out, right? We probably start out with, okay, hey, you know what? I know some people, they know me, they like me, they trust me, and so you've got some of those what we call ride and die people maybe that you can call up in the middle of the night to come help you if your car breaks down or whatever. And hey, yeah, those are the people that will do it just because they know you, right? They don't have to know if the product works. They don't have to know if, anything else, if the compensation is good or any of that. They just know you, trust you, and like you, and all of that. And so, guess what? They're going to say, okay, we'll give it a shot, right? Because I see that you're passionate about it. I'll take a look too. Okay. And then you just kind of develop those relationships over time. And there's techniques and everything with social media and influencing and all of that where people get to know you and trust you as well because of the value you're providing, right? But this is where it all starts with the permission relationship level. Okay. But then we want to go beyond that because now we're going to start having some results. Okay. So leaders don't make excuses, they create results. So now this is where good things start to happen. This is where profits start to increase, the mood rises, needs are met, goals are achieved, right? Now you're starting to get a little bit of momentum, okay? Because it becomes pleasant. It's starting to, wow, okay, it's working, right? I've got testimonials, there's income coming in, I'm making, commission checks, okay. And so because it's results oriented, problems are resolved faster, right? And so the team starts to feel like, hey, there's actually, this is real. Okay, it becomes real because it's actually, there's some results, there's some production happening, right? And now they see that since it's actually working, they're motivated. Now they're more willing to go out and do it themselves. Okay, which leads to people development and duplication. So at this point, right, is like Ralph Nader says, I start with the premise that the function of leadership is to produce more leaders, not more followers, right? So now what we're doing is duplication. We are creating new leaders. So success without it being passed on to others is failure. Thus, the importance of creating duplication. So, the main responsibility of a leader at this point is to train others to be successful themselves. Loyalty to the leader reaches its highest level when the one that follows him has grown personally thanks to the leadership of the leader. At this level, the follower is loyal to the leader. Loyal, okay? You know why? Because you win people's hearts when you help them grow. A leader does not create followers. A leader creates leaders. That is the key. This is where we really want to be. Okay, is this one. Now, eventually, we might get to the pinnacle, right? Eventually, we might be a John Maxwell ourselves, okay? But, like he says, leaders don't rise to the pinnacle of success without developing the right set of attitudes and habits. They make every day a masterpiece, right? And most of us have not reached this level. Only a lifetime of proven leadership will allow us to reach level 5 and reap the satisfying rewards for eternity. Okay. So I don't expect any of you or myself even to get to level 5, where you're an icon, right? Where you're just like the top. Hey, oh, wow, they just hear your name and it's like, oh, yeah. Okay. Yep. I want to follow them because I know who they are and what they represent, right? Just because you're a household name now. But hey, if we can get to level 4 where we're helping other people become leaders themselves, wow, now we're on the right path to making sure we're going to have something that's going to leave a legacy for everyone. So now here's the other way to think about it: lead, follow, or get out of the way. Okay. So a lot of times when you're starting something, you get invited to it, and it might be at the very beginning what we would call the bleeding edge, right? There's stuff that happens and that comes out, and it literally is like it's just so different, so out there, so disruptive that most people just can't even see it, right? But the visionaries do. Okay, so I think a lot of us, we kind of fall into this bleeding edge category, right? Where we're the visionaries, we're the people that can see the future more accurately. We actually create the future, okay? Because we're looking for the latest and greatest. We struggle and bleed for our project because most of the people around, they can't even see it, right? Investors scoff at it, friends and family laugh at it. Banks don't even want to look at it, right? But when the bleeding edge people get done, they're called billionaires, right? Like that's what happens. Okay. Very rare. Most people can't even fathom this. Okay. So, you can find those people, but what we're really looking for, honestly, is the cutting edge people. Okay. This is the group that catches the vision and capitalizes on it when they see what the leaders are doing, right? They see opportunities and spin offs. So, for example, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, okay, they were the inventors of Google, right? They didn't invent the internet, but they invented Google. They launched Google in 1998, and now Google is bigger than Ford, GM, and Chrysler combined, right? The cutting edge is a great place to be. There are very few bleeding edge people on the planet, but there are millions of cutting edge people. We don't all have to be the geniuses or have the timing of a Bill Gates or any of that, but any of us can learn and study to be cutting edge. This is where fortunes are made, right? Now, we also have to deal with the dull edge. These are the people with questions. These are the people that doubt, right? These are the people that wait until it's been tried and proven. These are the people that will buy it after everybody else has bought it and taken the risk, right? And guess what? Those people are always going to be stuck in the middle class, right? And then there's the trailing edge, right? This is the group that's more interested in a pizza budget than a marketing budget, right? And these are the people that not only don't get it, they don't even know that there's anything to get. Okay. So we're going to have to filter as leaders. We've got to go out and seek out leading edge and cutting edge people. Okay. And if they turn out to be dull edge or trailing edge, well, we can handle their stuff. We can, send them information, all that stuff, but we're not going to waste our time. Point of this slide is we don't waste our time on dull edge and trailing edge people, right? We have that posture that we talked about in step 7. We have that, the surety of, hey, you know what? I know I've got a solution here. I've got an answer to all the problems. And so if you're going to give me crap about it, I'm not going to waste my time with you because I know it works. And so I'm going to send you some information. You do with it what you want, right? If you're sincere and you really have questions, whatever, that's fine. I'll take time to answer it. But I'm not going to, waste my time on trying to turn a dull edge person into a cutting edge person. Not worth it. Okay. Just there's millions of cutting edge people out there. Let's go find them. All right. Now, the other important thing about leadership is it's not about the flash and the pump, right? If you want to become a leader, forget all that. Forget all the flash and the sizzle and the pump. That stuff's all skin deep. Run your system to excellence. Make sure you have a solid business plan every month that allows you to recruit 1 to 5 new people every single month, and then help each of your new recruits do the exact same thing. It's as simple as that. The most important thing is to be a consistent recruiter as opposed to a top recruiter. Okay. The top income earners and top recruiters are rarely the same thing. Okay. Write that down. All right. Because your job as a leader is to do your business to excellence in front of your team. So that's what it is. Consistent, not top. Okay. And then you're going to have success because it's going to duplicate and you're going to be that level 4 leader, right? That's actually teaching your new people to do the exact same thing you just did. Okay. All right. Now, here are some leadership tips. First, commit 100% to the personal development plan that we talked about in step 5. Okay. Your commitment to reading the good books, listening to the life-changing audios, and attending powerful events will pay off over time. It really will. Each day, the world will bombard you with negatives. You want to seize control of your own mind and fill it with positives. This will help you to develop into the leader people want to be around. Okay. Second, develop a mindset of servant leadership. Make sure your team's goal is more important than your personal goal. If they all reach their goals, you won't have to worry about yours, right? Third, organize weekly training for your team, even if it's only you and a handful of others, okay? Start when your team is small. Make sure it's well organized and it gives them valuable training. No hyper fluff. Make it fun so they're on the call because it's valuable to them, not because they're pressured into doing it every week. Okay, next, never miss an event. The leaders never miss the company conventions or regional events. If you want to be a leader, that's an easy place to start. Make a commitment now to never miss another major event in your company. And then finally, study leadership. As part of your personal development program, you should make a study of leadership by reading books about it, studying biographies of great leaders, and watching and learning from great leaders in the industry. All right, now we're going to talk about the paradox. There's an interesting paradox in relationship marketing. A focus on money often brings frustration and disappointment, but a focus on building relationships often brings money. So if you can take your eyes off your own goals and aspirations for a minute and focus on other people's goals, you're going to be amazed at how much more successful you will be financially as well as socially, right? Remember, your leads are just friends you haven't met yet, okay? So once they become friends and business partners, your job is to help them accomplish what they want. And if you focus on that, you will have everything you want. Thanks, Zig Ziglar. Okay, lower lights. So here's an important concept. In 1871, a poet by the name of Philip Bliss attended a small church meeting in Cleveland, Ohio. The preacher told of a recent tragedy in the Cleveland harbor. The harbor has a lighthouse on one side, and on the other side, a community of homes. The lights from the homes were referred to by sailors as the lower lights, okay? They gave the sailors a reference point to guide their ships by. If they stayed between the lower lights and the lighthouse, they were safe, right? So here's the story Mr. Bliss heard. There was a ship trying to find Cleveland Harbor in the midst of a terrible storm one night. The captain could see the lighthouse, and as he drew near, he shouted to the lighthouse keeper, "Is this Cleveland?" The lighthouse keeper shouted back, "Quite true, sir." The captain asked, "Where are the lower lights?" The lighthouse keeper said, "They have gone out. Can you make the harbor?" The captain replied, "We must, or we will perish." Well, with that, he sailed his ship into the harbor, passed the lighthouse, missed the channel, and was dashed against the rocks. It was a terrible tragedy, and many people were killed. Philip Bliss was so moved by the story that he wrote the song, "Brightly Beams Our Father's Mercy," which is still a popular Christian hymn. The last two verses are as follows. "Trim your feeble lamp, my brother. Some poor seaman tempest tossed, trying now to make the harbor, in the darkness may be lost. Let the lower lights be burning. Send a gleam across the wave. Some poor fainting, struggling seaman you may rescue, you may save." So the ship crashed because for whatever reason, lights that should have been shining were out. How brightly is your light shining? Are there people out there right now that you can rescue and save? We have referred to two lights in this training series, your personal light and your marketing light. The challenge is to start with whatever light you have and make it brighter. Work on yourself and work on your marketing skills until you have a light that casts its light around the world, attracting people into your business and attracting people to you. In conclusion, great leaders don't tell you what to do, they show you how it's done. So let's go out and put our best foot forward. Let's be willing to make some sacrifices. Let's go beyond normal. Let's make the calls, send the messages, call our sponsors, take it seriously. If we are successful, it's our own fault. And if we fail, it's our own fault. Do the things we've talked about in these 10 steps and help your team do them too. Pay attention, get excited, and don't you dare ever quit. So with that, let you get back to your Saturdays. Thanks so much. Let's go shine our light to all the world so we can save those poor lost seamen that are out amongst the waves. Thanks so much, and we will talk to you all next week.
Great training today, Jeremy.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
No problem. Bye-bye.